This particular video will address what grades will look like when you see your child's grade card at the end of this week or next week at parent-teacher conferences. And so our goal as a district is to grade all of our academic content on a 4-point scale. So that means every critical concept that we discussed last week would be graded on a scale of 1 to 4. And so I want to go through really quickly what each of those grade levels or point levels means. And I'm going to start with level 3. You can see I have it highlighted here on this slide. Level 3 is the most important level in this 4-point scale, because a level 3 shows that your child has mastered the critical concept. And so if your child were to receive a level 3 score on any critical concept, that means they've mastered the content. All right. In order to get a level 4, a student would have to not only master that critical concept, but also transfer that learning to other contexts. And so particularly for first trimester, a level 4 would be somewhat rare, just because the opportunities haven't really been there yet this year. A level 2 is a student who is approaching mastery. So those students probably have the underlying skills that help address that critical concept, but they haven't quite demonstrated mastery yet. And a level 1 is a student who is a very beginning understanding of the standards. So they're not meeting the grade level goal without extensive support. There are 2 other grades you might see on a standards reference grade card. One is IE, which stands for insufficient evidence. And insufficient evidence would be a score that you would see only rarely, but it might be for a student who has just moved into the district and we haven't had the opportunity to gather evidence on that particular standard. But it's a pretty rare instance that we'll be using IE. The other score you may see is NR, and that is not reported. And so a critical concept may either be blank or posted as NR if it's not reported. And that just means that concept has not been taught or assessed yet. One other important thing to note here is that eventually we'll also be using 0.5s to show growth or to give a better indication of where a student is. So if a student has shown partial mastery of the level 3 critical concept, but not complete mastery, you might see them at a level 2.5. They've got those underlying skills and they've got some of the skills that we want them to have for a level 3, but perhaps not all of them. Our reality for this school year, however, is we're going to continue using the traditional E, S, and N grade card system. And so every critical concept will have a score of either E, S, or N. Or if you are a parent of a child who's been in grades K through 2 the last several years, that would be the same as a plus, check, or minus. Okay, but every critical concept this year will be using an E, S, or N. So if a student is at a level, what we would consider a level 1, you'll see an N on the grade card. If they're at either a level 2 or level 3, you'll see an S on the grade card. So that means your child has either mastered the critical concept or is approaching mastery of the critical concept. And then if you see an E, that's equivalent to a level 4.